Hey everybody, welcome to the Jaywalker. Today, special episode, Cemetery Stories Revisited, episode number 1. So today we are revisiting my second video ever, which was terrible by the way. And we are revisiting Lake Walcott State Park just outside of Rupert, Idaho. Now we're revisiting this particular area today because I found out new information. Now, a year ago when I came here to tell you the story of one Eldon Gerald Nelson, I had no idea what happened to him. But soon after recording, editing, uploading the video, guess what? I found out kind of the story of why this young child, this infant, is buried on the edge of such a wonderful place. So let's go back over to his grave and I'll give you the story. Coming up right now on the Jaywalker. So I just wanted to take a second to kind of talk a little bit about my desire and my thought about refilming this episode. And I did it mostly because I got the new information, but I kind of wanted to do it to do some justice to young Eldon and his family, I hope. And so I waited a year after that filming for a couple of reasons. First off, hopefully my filming's better, my storytelling's better, and hopefully this video's better. Secondly, I didn't have all the information, and I kind of wanted to, I didn't really want to just record it down here in my basement, so I left it to when I could get back up and actually film there again on site. And so that's why, a year in between this updated video. As I've mentioned, this grave, this headstone, is kind of special in my journey in Taphophilia. Taphophilia is the field of those who are intrigued in cemeteries and of headstones and those type of things. It's one of those headstones and those graves that really shook me and kind of put me on the path of wanting to find out the stories as well. So this is part of the reason why I got into it and why I wanted to go and refilm. I wanted to do some justice to the story, not only with a better video, but with getting there on site and tackling it there out at Lake Walcott State Park, and not just leave it to being here in my studio, in my basement. Now, as I mentioned in that first video that I covered this grave in, he's buried on kind of the edge of what is now Lake Walcott State Park, which borders Lake Walcott, which is the reservoir behind Minidoka Dam, hydroelectric dam here, south side of Rupert, Idaho, south central part of the state. And the story is that there was a town out here where this park now is, and the Nelsons were one of the families who lived here. His father was one of the workers here at the dam. Here's the grave coming up right here. And the story is that it was a very, very cold winter, and Eldon died in November or December of 1919. young Eldon's family lived out here in the town that was here for the people who worked on the dam. And he passed away November, December time frame, and it was bitterly cold. The ground by then had completely frozen. And being 1919, they didn't have the heavy machinery to dig the grave out at the new, it's called the Mar Cemetery, just closer to Rupert. It's Minidoka, Asequa, Rupert, 3 towns that kind of share the cemetery. They didn't have the equipment to do that in December, so the people who ran the cemetery at the time told his parents, you know what, we can bury him here at the cemetery, but you're going to have to wait until spring. Which they really didn't want to do. They didn't want to wait for that long to give him a proper burial. So his parents, being industrious, they lit a fire here on this spot, right where he's buried. They lit a fire, and it was big and it was hot. And they let it burn long enough. They kept it going long enough and hot enough to where they could dig a hole. And they did. And they buried him here, close to where they lived and loved. And I'm not sure what happened to his family beyond that, but that's the story of how there's a lone grave out here on the edge of this beautiful park. Now, there are other graves, or so I'm told. I've not been able to find them out here, and if I can, I'll share their stories also. Thanks for joining me. We'll go on another jaywalk soon. If you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, hit that like button, leave me comments. We'll see you soon.